I quite literally have $7.41 in my checking account right now, and all I know is that God is faithful. I'm not worried about all the other stuff. You know why I have $7? It's because all my bills are paid. He provided a way for my bills to be paid, and now I got 2 legs that work, and I'm going to the gym. All for His glory. Period.
So I live in a townhome, and they just recently increased our rent. So when we first moved in, it was 2021, and we were paying $1,910 a month. That includes our internet, so that doesn't include, you know, other utilities. So that to me was expensive, and I was like, that's really expensive. So this year when we signed our lease, they said that they were going to increase our rent. And then to find out when they did increase it, it was actually $300. So the increase was $300. So now with that increase of $300, I just don't understand how people can do this. So I don't understand how they expect people to live, because between me and my husband, we make enough that we should be able to live comfortably, and this is a stretch. I have my brother that lives with me as a roommate, luckily, but this is just absolutely ridiculous, and I don't understand how people who are living off of minimum wage, which is literally $15 now, how are you guys surviving? How are you guys buying groceries? How are you guys having children? How are you guys paying for your car payments? I just don't understand, like, how much longer is it going to be before people are literally just homeless at this point? And they're just taking all this money, and people are just suffering, and I just don't understand how anybody can fucking afford anything right now. It's just fucking ridiculous.
The price of everything is going up right now. I just got my rent renewal. Let's discuss how much it's increasing. And for some context, I live in southern Indiana. I have a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment. In total, we pay $989 a month, and that's broken down into a base rent of $949, and we pay $40 for a washer-dryer fee. I do also want to note that our utilities are paid completely separately, so we receive a water bill and an electricity bill that we pay every month. So let's discuss the new terms of the lease. All right, here it is. The base rent is going up to $1,074. The washer-dryer fee is increasing to $50, and they are adding a trash fee of $15, bringing the monthly total to $1,139. So if you've seen my videos before, you know that my sister actually lives with us and splits rent. So our agreement with splitting rent is we pay 60% and she pays 40%. So I'll do the math and put what the breakdown's going to be here. So yeah, we are going to renew. We like the location. We like the unit. I finally feel like we're settled. I don't really want to pack up and move now. So it is what it is. We're gonna figure it out. So anyway, we're very fortunate that we have the extra money and can adjust. But let me know down below what your monthly rent is and if you've had any unexpected increases recently.
Reasons I'm not moving back home even though rent is too expensive. Number 1, my mama, she don't let no sunlight in the house. Okay, it's like a cute recipe and a very cute layout to get depressed in. She do not want the sun coming through. She got the darkest curtains up, and she got plastic around the windows. So if we ever in a situation, we're gonna stay in that situation. Number 2, she don't do the leave the shoes downstairs thing. Leave your purse downstairs, your keys downstairs. She don't do none of that. It's 3 flights of stairs. I can't leave my bag at the door. Mama. My shoes, mama? Mama. Boom. If you cook dinner, it's like she be expecting the kitchen to be clean as soon as you plate your food. She be expecting the whole kitchen to be clean. Don't let her come downstairs and see that you eat at the table and there's dishes in the sink. Mama, I'm not ready yet. You know what I'm saying? I'm dining right now. And you can't sleep on the couch. No feet on the couch. Girl.
Y'all, in Las Vegas in 2019, the average rent for a 1-bedroom apartment was $841. In 2023, that average rent is $1,309. 3 times the rent in 2019 was like $30K. 3 times the rent now is like $47K. Why y'all do that? For what reason? What is the point?
Listen up, Chicagoans. I need y'all to talk to me. How much is your rent going up? 2 years ago, my apartment complex was gracious enough let me renew at the same rental rate because, you know, everyone was going through tough times with COVID. Last year, they raised it on me by maybe $30, give or take, a month. And then I just got hit with like an 80-something increase a month for next year. So it's just not enough to be like, I need to move, because once you pay for movers and stuff like that, it's like, ugh. So I just need to know. I'm so sorry. This is horrible. The ironic thing is I used to roll burritos at Salsaritas back in the day. So you'd think I'd be good at like wrapping a wrap. How much are they jacking your rent up by? It kind of feels like 80 something a month is a little bit market rate, which is fucking egregious. The middle class is very large, right? It's a very large scale of people, but I would consider myself to be a pretty privileged middle class person. So if I, as a more privileged middle class person, am feeling the heat on almost $100 a month additional on top of my rent, how the fuck are poor people supposed to live? Seriously, how are poor people who make minimum fucking wage living paycheck to paycheck living? How are people who are supporting like multiple heads and have these fucking children running around? How the hell are they living? I'm a single dog mom, and I'm just like, what the hell are the American people at large supposed to be doing right now?
So I went apartment shopping today, and I actually went to these units in person to speak with the leasing agents. And I want to show you the economy, the housing market that, not even housing, the rental market that I'm supposed to just be able to live in comfortably, right? Okay, let's go over this. Let's just take a look. We've got 406 square feet, right? It's a studio, 1 bathroom, 406 square feet of living space. $2,200. That does not include utilities that you have to pay for yourself. I have to pay for water, gas, electric, and trash in this complex already, like the studio. And then on top of that, I have to make 2.5 times the rent. So they're wanting me to make $6,000-$7,000 a month in order for me to even just be like approved to live in 406 square feet of living space by myself. This is me. I'm single. I'm alone. I've been single my entire life. I have to figure out how to find a place to live, right? But then let's go to the 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, something that is livable, a lot more space, something maybe even a couple could live in. Let's check that out. So here we go. We've got the 1 bed, 1 bath, 680 square feet, right, of living space. As a couple, a little tight, but we might be able to make it work. You want to know how much this one cost? For a couple hundred extra square feet of living space, 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, right outside of a studio, this is what it cost. $2,386. Again, not including utilities. Why is it that a single person has to be okay with paying $2,200 for 400 square feet of living space for a single person? But if I was a couple and I was moving with my boyfriend or girlfriend and into this space, it's only $2,386. For a little more than $100 a month, I could have actual living space. Now let's tickle on the fact that, you know what if me and my boyfriend or girlfriend are living a little bougie and we want a little more living space? How much would that cost? What would that look like? It would look like this. A 1 bed, 1 bath, 711 square feet of living space, right? that's ample space for a young couple, couples around my age that are looking to get out and get some rental history before they, buy a home, or they just want to move out away from their parents. This is something they can do. You know how much this costs? $2,512 per month. This is what I would want to live in comfortably, right? This is where I would want to spend my time and money and create my own livable space on my own, independent, away from my family, away from my parents. This looks great for me, but it would cost me $2,512 a month, not including the utilities, not including my car insurance, not including any student debt that I have, not including X, Y, and Z, food, putting clothes on my back, and getting groceries, getting gas to and from work. That is insane. And just to let you know, because I'm in California, let's say $2,500 a month on the low end, I have to make 2.5 up to 3.5 times my rent. So let's say, all in all, total cost of living for me, a single adult, $2,500, right? Including utilities and whatever else. This is for housing. I have to make 2.5 times that. I have to make this per month, which means I would have to make this per year. Who my age is making this? What average American family person, single income person is making this to be able to live somewhere on my own? I'm single. I'm by myself. I don't have another income. But the housing market is set up to where if you're single, you have to pay this, right? But if I have a partner, if I have a roommate, if I have a significant other, I'd be able to afford livable square footage when I'm looking for an apartment or even a home. It's not set up. The system is not set up for a single person to thrive and or live and be happy on his own. And these prices, before you say, move somewhere cheaper, see, that's the issue I have, is because these numbers, I've seen this in Oregon, and I've seen it in Colorado, I've seen it in Nevada, I've seen it in Arizona, I've seen it in so many states that I would like to go and live, but these are the numbers that I'm faced with. And these 3.5, 2.5, X amount times the rent that I have to make. I have to be working these jobs where I'm making $75,000, $85,000, $95,000, $100,000 a year, and I'm young. And you think I'm supposed to be inspired to just go to work? For what? I can't afford to live. Where am I supposed to go? I don't know if anybody out there is feeling the same way I do, because I just don't think people recognize that, like, these prices here, that's not fair for somebody that's single and young and trying to get out from underneath his parents and wanting to go out and do his own thing. All right? My siblings, they have significant others. Their entire lives as young adults, they've had an additional income into the home. One person can pay for rent and the other person pays for the utilities and groceries and gas. Me? That's all me, by myself, nobody else. So what am I supposed to do? What are we supposed to do? We have a housing crisis. The wages don't match the cost of living. And this is what it looks like. These are my options. Otherwise, I just have to live in my truck.
It's May 2023, and writing my rent check this month was one of the most arduous things. My landlord raised our rent, or let me back it up. My landlord sent us a notice back in January to say that we need to be out by the end of June, and that for the months of May and June, she wants $1,000 more a month. Unfortunately, this is completely legal because we're tenants at will, for her to both ask us to leave and ask for more money. Now, we've got legal counsel, and we were advised under no circumstance should we be paying the increase because we are not obligated to. We need to agree to a rent increase, and given that she has told us when we need to be out, she can't do anything until that time that we need to be out. She couldn't try and evict us until we are no longer following what she's asking in terms of being out. I also, just sidebar, why is this legal? If I had a lease, that wouldn't be legal to ask us to leave and increase the rent. But because we're not on a lease, it's legal, but there's no obligation for us to do so. It sounds like that's not very much in a tenant's interest. I also didn't want to be tenant at will. That wasn't our choice. And last year, our rent went up $500 a month. Last year, we were given the option to stay, and when it came to moving or staying, the increase was less expensive than the alternative. And we've been looking since the beginning of February for a place, seen over 20 different places. The apartment market is ridiculous. Either the things in our price range are not a place where we're going to bring our young children, and we're not just moving for a year to get out. We need some place where we're not moving every year. That's not fair to the kids. And either it's not in a good condition for a family to live in. There's a multitude of applications, and we don't get the place. The last place we applied to 3 weeks ago didn't have the courtesy to reach back out to us to let us know that we weren't accepted. And I've even heard instances from one of the realtors that people will offer more than in their application than what the tenant is asking for rent, just to make their application a little bit more appealing. This is mind-blowing and ridiculous, by the way. Now, last year when our landlord tried to raise our rent, she didn't give us the 30 days notice that we were obligated to, and we pushed back and we said, well, listen, we understand that this is we can't come to any agreement in between. We have to pay it. This is when we're going to be paying, not when you asked us. It's going to be a month later. So my understanding would be that in order to prevent that from happening again, she sent us this notice back at the end of January, and she spent a little over $8 to make sure that it was certified mail, and we did nothing, and we paid the same amount that we've been paying for the past year. She wasn't happy, but she doesn't have to be because we're under no obligation to pay it.
So on today's episode of Why Are They Charging That Much for Rent, my downstairs neighbor, exact same floor plan that I have. I signed my lease in January, and I know there's going to be people that's like, that's cheap or that's expensive, but whatever. 2 bed, 2 bath, 1,100 square feet. I pay $1,639 before they add stuff. But my base rent is $1,639. After everything, it's $1,715. That's what I pay every month. Okay, so $1,639. So my downstairs neighbors lived there for 2 months and then moved out. I would love to know the tea on that, I would. And if you've been here since my Florida days, I'm not talking about the downstairs neighbors that called the cops. That's a whole separate story in a whole separate state, okay? Now we're in Texas. So anyways, downstairs neighbors move out. They moved out in Florida too, but also Texas. And I'm like, so I go on the website to see how much they're renting that apartment for. Keep in mind my $1,639. $2,247. I know every realtor's argument's gonna be like, yeah, but it's the summer, it's a peak time to move. Is that not a $600 increase in the last 5 months? I'm gonna need to have a chat with whoever signed that lease, genuinely. Because you're getting robbed. They haven't even moved in yet. I don't know if anyone has, but it was the only 2 bed, 2 bath apartment open for $2,247. And I've never been so happy I signed a 13-month lease so I could get a month free. At first I was like, damn, 13 months, it's so long. Maybe I should have signed a 6-month. Now I'm like, praise Jesus, the Lord heavens above, that I signed a 13-month lease. Because I have another month to figure it out. Also, if you're broke, this happened on accident. I didn't do it to save money, but if I needed to save money, this is what I do. Sign your leases starting in the winter. Literally sign your year leases in December, January, February, because no one wants to move then, so your stuff's a lot cheaper. They hike up the prices between probably April for sure, May, June, July, August, to September probably would be my guess. Peak times to move, it's warm outside, so move in the winter. Because then you won't be getting screwed by $600. I hope I did that math wrong. But I really don't think I did. They're gonna get robbed. I paid $16.39, and that's their base rent, which means they still have like another $80 worth of stuff to pay.
Do you think it's humane to work every day, all day, just to make ends meet? I work every day, Monday through Sunday, 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Do you think I have a life? I have to survive. I just left work to come here to speak up for the people that couldn't come here. Do you think that's fair?
Thank you for your testimony.
No, I'm not finished. Because you, the Rent Guidelines Board, which is, you started in 1960 to help us and hear us from the tenant, and instead rent has risen. What are you doing to support us? I implore you to not increase the rent and roll back the rent.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let me announce our next three speakers. We're going to be hearing from, thank you.
I heard people living in like stores, they renting out storage units and living in them. How things looking, how things like this rent going up so high. I think we all gonna end up living in a storage unit, renting one out. It's cheap, y'all. What the lowest, like maybe $100 to live in one of them things?
We have a new trend going on across America, and that is vacant luxury apartment buildings like the one behind me. The apartment developers have gone crazy in America. They're building nearly 1 million apartments right now in 2023. That's a record high. And what they're doing is they're building these apartments, and then they're charging $2,000 a month, $3,000 a month, even $4,000 a month in some cases to rent the apartments, which of course is crazy. It's absurd. People don't have the money to afford that. So what we're now seeing is a huge increase in what's called the apartment vacancy rate in America. Data from Apartment List shows that in many cities, there's more and more vacant apartments, particularly cities like Nashville, Las Vegas, Phoenix, and parts of Florida are seeing a lot of these vacant apartments just sitting empty. And this is now forcing the landlords to have to cut the rent and in some cases give away 2 or 3 month free rent just to get someone into the building. And ultimately, this is bad news for the US housing market because over the long run, the levels of rent filter through to home prices. And right now, home price to rent ratio is near an all-time high. So if rent is going to start to go down, that means home prices are going to go down.
There's a moving truck. There's a moving pod. There's a moving truck.
What would you do if your rent increased by 12% or more after 1 year? This is exactly what's happening to some tenants across the GTA, like this group at the Live More condos in High Park. Let's do some quick math. If your rent started at $2,000, that 12% increase would bring it up by an additional $240 per month. This may sound criminal, but it's actually legal in some cases. In Ontario, the maximum rent increase for residential homes is 2.5%, but there are some exemptions. If the unit is vacant and you find a new tenant, you can charge whatever you want. The maximum increase also doesn't apply to community housing, long-term care homes, and commercial properties. But the one exemption that tenants are struggling the most with are new buildings. If you're the first tenant in a brand new building, your landlord has the right to increase your rent after 12 months beyond the 2.5% maximum. So if you're on the hunt for a new rental unit, make sure you understand the rules and ask the right questions. Be careful out there because this rental market is wild.
My leasing office is some scammers. I pay $13.50 right now, and they want to up the month-to-month rent to $20.50, right? And so when I emailed them in order to do like a discount or to see like a 1-year lease or 6 months, they say they can only offer me $19.25 or $19.75. BS.
It's absolutely ridiculous, but how about you?
That's funny. This 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, 900 square foot apartment with a loft with a balcony and a garage in North Orange County, Southern California, runs me $2,300 a month. $2,300 a month. Now you might be saying, well, Matt, why don't you just move somewhere cheaper? Something cheaper. Too bad I fucking can't. I've been grandfathered into this lease. When I moved in 2017, I paid $1,900 a month, and it's gone up ever since then. But if I were to find any other apartment that was anywhere comparable to this or worse, I'd be paying about the same, if not significantly a lot more. This apartment right now, if somebody leased this apartment right now, they'd cost them like $3,200, something like.
All right, so update on the rent increase situation. We are planning to go to the office tomorrow to try to get them to decrease the price because really we do have a case of demand a decrease considering we've had pest control issues and maintenance has been faulty and half our outlets do not work in this place. However, in the case that we do not get a decrease, we do have a backup plan. There is a place that our friends told us about that can get us a referral for. We're probably going to tour next week if we need to. It is within our budget. However, we won't be able to move until mid-August and our lease ends the first week of August. So we're in a bind there. Also, this was the push for me to actually sell my old car. I got a good offer. I just have to find the title for it and they can pick it up and give me a check for that on Friday. So yeah, we're fine. Just adulting.
Let me confirm something for you.
Rent, it's too damn high.
So here's what's up, and here's why. The median asking rent in the U.S. surpassed $2,000 for the first time in May. That's up 15% from a year ago, and 30 to almost 50% in some cities. This next stat makes me ill, but the median rent in Manhattan just went up to over $4,000 a month, at a time when landlords require a gross income of 3 times the rent. That's a lot of cutting back on avocado toast. So what exactly is going on? Number 1, city dwellers like me that left to live with family early in the pandemic are now back and they're looking for places on their own. But inventory is down thanks to a shortage of both materials and workers. It's classic supply and demand. Number 2, the housing boom of 2021. It priced out a lot of people and now more are forced to rent. Number 3, landlords are now raising the rent significantly following the freezes of the last 2 years. No joke, this is a text from a good friend of mine who just received his new lease. Insane. Number 4, in the Sun Belt, where millennials have been flocking, investors and big corporations are buying
almost 30% of the homes that are available for regular home buyers.
And then they're renting them out, and therefore playing a pretty big role in setting these ridiculously high rental prices in places that don't normally have them.
Raising your rent next year, then I guess I'm moving.
So my New York City landlord raised my rent by $600, and I'm like, okay, then I'm gonna move, and you're gonna have to find someone new who doesn't clog the toilet every day and actually pays rent on time.